Welcome to the TheGeeksAttic. Guys, this is probably my first or second live video. Hopefully everything's running smooth. I know there's probably nobody going to be joining me this time around because it's completely unannounced. I tried to do this video earlier and it didn't work. So hopefully this time it will work. Now, this is a Phantom Menace watch-along video. Sorry about the crappy camera. I've got a little PC here that I'll have to be using because my actual nice computer is broken. So I guess it's not so nice, is it? So let's go ahead and pull up Disney Plus or your digital copy, your DVD, your Blu-ray, or your VHS copy of The Phantom Menace, and let's watch this movie. Now, I just pulled up Disney Plus on my computer, got some Christmas lights going behind me. I thought I'd set the mood with some red, get that dark vibe going with Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. We got the rise of, it's basically the rise of Palpatine, right? So I've got Disney Plus open. I'm going to scroll to The Phantom Menace and watch this. So I'm going to hit play on the word go. So I'm going to do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, hit play. Now, sorry I can't have any of the audio playing because I don't want to get a copyright strike. Now the 20th Century Fox logo has popped up. Hopefully you can hear me just fine. It would suck if this recorded and there was no audio. Microphone's not muted. And we got a Lucasfilm Limited logo. I'm in a computer chair, so it might make some squeaks. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Here we go, guys. I love this. I love this saga. Except the new films, not as much. But I'm looking forward to the last movie now. After that last clip they released, it looks pretty interesting. So I don't even have a YouTube chat up here. Hopefully I don't screw this. Okay, here we go. Hi Striker. Hi Rob D. Audio's good. Thank you. This is my first time, so I might be a little nervous and make myself look stupid on here. We got the Phantom Menace, the scrolls coming up now. So yeah, I did this last night, and I'm just so bummed it didn't work out. It wasn't live. It was going to be one of those premiere videos, so everybody could be prepared to join me on something like this. But I just thought I'll go ahead and do it live. Wife is in bed. The kids are all in bed. And I'm a little bit tired. Hello, Midway. How's it going? So I'm not much of a talker. So I'm gonna try to be entertaining while I watch this film. And keep an eye on that live chat there. Star Raptor. Hey, buddy. All right, the crawl is gone. Got blank space. Oh, here we go. It was always funny, this blockade. It's like, how come they just didn't go around to the other side of the planet? They just go right through all the chaos. Just finished The Last Jedi. Did you like it better this time around, Star Raptor? See, I like the Nemoidians. A lot of people said that, oh, it's so racist because of their accent. Come on, guys. These creatures have to have different accents. Who cares if it's the stereotypical, Asian American? It's fine with me. Of course, I'm not Asian American, so I guess. So you did like it better this time around. Wish to board immediately. Yes, you're right. We got that silver droid. I don't know its name. I forget all these things. I'm gonna turn it up in my headset. Hopefully I don't get interrupted. Hopefully nobody wakes up and starts screaming in the background. See, they're talking like Obi-Wan Kenobi feels this disturbance elsewhere, and Qui-Gon Jinn's telling him to focus now on what's going on. There's something that happens later on in the film that's pretty interesting. When they arrive on Tatooine, they sense a disturbance in the Force, and it's before Darth Maul is dispatched to go there. So what are they sensing? I've never figured that out. TC-14. Okay, thank you. The conflict between Rey and Kylo, yes. They did do a pretty good job. They have a little bit of chemistry there. I think Adam Driver does an excellent job as Kylo Ren. There's that one problem I have that one of my friends from work, he told me, he's like, how come he didn't own up to killing Snoke? Maybe Anakin. That's true too, yeah. That could be the disturbance they felt. But it's also funny because also whenever Qui-Gon goes back to the ship, he's like, Kenobi says, why do I sense that we've picked up another pathetic life form? So he basically calls Anakin pathetic. It's pretty funny. I'm going to make this other screen over here larger so I can see what you guys are saying. Darth Sidious, he's awesome. I will make it legal. I love that line. And it's funny, like every frame of this movie has been turned into a meme. So sometimes it's hard to take this serious. It's like that movie Scream. Have you guys seen Scream? A lot of people that haven't have seen Scary Movie. And they're like, oh, I can't take Scream serious because of Scary Movie. I hate it when people do that. Whoop, hold the breath. That scene right there always reminded me of Ghostbusters too. When they walk into the museum, Peter Venkman says, suck in your guts, guys, with the Ghostbusters, and they all... That's pretty funny. Mean Girls, Matt. The entire movie is a meme. Never seen it. Never seen it. I think it's cool with these the battle droids. They're like uneasy and they're kind of balancing themselves on their feet. It's pretty neat. And we haven't seen anybody do the Force run, have we? In any other movie? It's just this one, if I remember correctly. I wish they'd do that. I wish they would have done that more in some of the other movies. Slice those droids like butter. And this, okay, now he's starting to cut through the door, and then they close like the blast door. It's an awesome scene. It's always like that. But then the door's melting, and Qui-Gon's hands are right there by that molten metal. Do you think that would have burnt his hand? He just did it. He just shoved it right in there. Now that middle of the door's melting away. I think his hand would have been blistered up really bad. Thanks, guys, for joining me, by the way. I love how Kenobi twirls his saber. I think it's pretty awesome. So, Stryker, are you a fan of the prequel trilogy? Or not prequel, the sequels? Oh, and then they do that big long jump where they fall out of that ventilation shaft. Yeah, Newt Gunnery sending the bill. Yeah, cheap little bastards. No, I just read Cloak of Deception. If you guys have not read that, you should read it and then rewatch The Phantom Menace because it's so great. It's a political book, but there's a lot of really interesting stuff. You learn a lot about Qui-Gon Jinn and his relation to the Force and his relationship with Kenobi. Really good. Some new characters that we haven't seen in the films that are really cool. And okay, you are a fan of the sequels? I wonder if there'll be like a big, J.J. Abrams might include all of the Force powers that we've seen in the past, through Rey. I mean, that would be kind of neat to see her do the fast run and just everything else that we've seen. Queen. The Queen Amidala. I wasn't a fan of the new book, Queen Shadow. Got to disrupt those communications down there. I love Naboo. It looks so nice. It's still to this date like the effects that just I don't know if they used miniatures for Naboo. There's those shots, but it looks great. I would love to visit Naboo. Have you seen the Baby Yoda toy commercial? No, I have not. I don't have cable, so everything I watch is streamed either through Netflix. I watch YouTube stuff, and now Disney Plus. But I'll have to look that up later. I have a bunch of empty shelves at my office that I've got. One shelf is completely full of Ghostbuster stuff. One has some Star Wars items, and I have like 3 other blank shelves. I need to get some Star Wars stuff. Maybe we need to make room for baby Yoda. It's funny that there's those people that rage about it not being actually Yoda. It's like, guys, we know. Maybe it's a clone. Maybe it's I don't know if it's a baby. Highly doubt it's a baby. I mean, like a baby of Yoda's. "14-year-old girl ruling society." No, not at all. It's on IGN, the commercial. Okay, I'll check that out later on. Thank you. These ships that the droids came in on, I always thought they looked kind of goofy. They're so bulky on the top, those huge wings. But then it goes and shows that all those big transport ships come out. So I guess they're all stored up there near the wings. Captain Ford. What do you think about Captain Ford? I'm going to sound like an idiot here. I don't know what you're talking about. Captain Ford. Is it from The Mandalorian as well? I'm horrible with remembering names and stuff. I usually have to watch things over and over, and still my brain is like all over the place. I have a hard time remembering some things. Fordo? Captain Fordo. I don't know. Was this from the last week's or this weekend's episode? I've only seen each episode once, except for the one with the Mudhorn. I've seen that one 3 times. I really liked that episode. Okay, this part 2. I've never understood why they just met Jar Jar Binks. Why did Qui-Gon Jinn? He's like running away from the transport ships that the droids are in. Why didn't he just like, I'm gonna run away from them, not like diagonal? And I wonder, okay, him and Kenobi were split up. Did Kenobi take off like on the left side, just like, okay, I'm going that way. Qui-Gon's going straight, and then they meet up later on. I always thought that was funny. Like, how did they get split up? Oh, okay, the Red Clone from 2003 Clone Wars series. You know, I watched the Clone Wars series once all the way through, and it was like in a rush, so I don't really remember a lot from the Clone Wars. I always had a hard time. I attempted to get through it 2 or 3 times, and I kept just getting frustrated with it. And I was like, this is not for me. And then I heard that it was leaving Netflix, and I really wasn't on top of the whole Disney Plus thing. I didn't know if I was going to get it or not. And I knew all the Clone Wars stuff was going to be posted to that, which it is. But yeah, I like kind of binged watched it real fast, getting through all the episodes. So I don't remember much, but I definitely want to revisit the Clone Wars. And I did watch it in chronological order. There was a list on the Star Wars website. So that's how I watched it. So I definitely need to give it another watch. So I don't really remember the Red Clone. Sorry. Clone Wars cartoon. Did you guys watch that the original Clone Wars cartoon? Tchaikovsky. I don't know how to say his last name. But it was like released as a little web miniseries before Revenge of the Sith was released. Me and my roommate used to watch that whenever those episodes dropped in college. Yep, just walked through the little bubbly stuff, all of the Gungans, and I pointed out there's a pretty fat Gungan right there. Red clone. Okay. I'm going to look it up. I have my phone with me. I'm going to look up Fordo. Maybe I'll recognize that. You're sucking big doo-doo this time. It's gross. Who says that? Like a 4 or 5-year-old. Do you have plans to play Battlefront 2? I did play Battlefront 2 for a while, and then I just kind of fell off. It's hard to play games. I got 3 kids, 5, 2, and 1. So it's hard to get away and do stuff. So I got lucky tonight to get away after they were all in bed, and wife was like, yeah, I'm tired too. So I didn't have to watch anything else. Just like, I'm going to go do some filming. And here I am doing a surprise live stream. But I heard that Battlefront 2 is constantly getting updates, so I'll probably have to revisit that one pretty soon. So I'm going to look Captain Fordo. Images. Okay, yeah, I recognize him. I don't really remember anything about him, but yeah, he looks pretty sick. I did find the time because I was sick whenever Jedi Fallen Order came out, so I got to sit up in our loft and play that, and I actually beat it. It took me like 2.5, 3, no, a week. Okay, something's not adding up in my head. I wasn't sick the whole time. I had to put in a lot of time because I was sick, so it took me about a week, 2 weeks to beat that game. I love it. I have it like 93% complete, 98, something like that, 3 or an 8. But I really enjoyed that game. It was a lot of fun. Boss Nass. Wonder why he looks so different. Is that ever explained? You guys know? Does anybody know? Is he like a different race of Gungan? The effects don't really hold up too well to me with the Gungans as much, especially Boss Nass's clothes. They just look very, very stiff and fake. Which clearly it's fake, but you know what I mean. Okay, there's something that's coming too. They're going through the planet. They're headed to the planet core. In that little boat there, submarine thing. Banished because he's clumsy. Darth Jar Jar. I thought that was a really fun theory. I didn't believe it at all, but there were some really valid points to what they were making about that. Novelization, okay. I'll have to look at that. I know I listened to the audiobook for the Phantom Menace, but I haven't looked to see if it was like an abridged or unabridged version. And it was last year or the year before, so I'll have to revisit it with the paperback. I retain more when I read it instead of listen to it. Well, here comes the bigger fish. I love the sound that it makes. It's that deep grumble. Rumble, not grumble. And rips his head off. The Trade Federation ship again. You guys happy about the possible return of Darth Sidious? Because I am. Especially with that opera scene from Revenge of the Sith. It makes a lot more sense. And maybe, what if it's not Darth Sidious? Maybe there's just a little cameo and Darth Plagueis actually shows up. Maybe he listened to what everybody was suggesting or theorizing back when the Force Awakens came out. It was like, oh, that's Darth Plagueis' staff. Maybe it's Darth Plagueis coming back. Okay, they're losing power. Now, okay, the headlights turn off. They sink to the bottom. But lights on the inside are doing just fine, and that protective bubble is still around them. Now, I'm guessing that's like backup power that's keeping them safe. Because later on, when they come up out of the water there in Naboo, I guess they're on Naboo right now, but when they come up to the city, that bubble turns off. Maybe it stays on when they're underwater, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how their technology really works. Another cool sound effect right there with that gigantic fish thing. How scary would it be if one of those things got up on the surface, just tore through the city? Goes the droid army right through the nice, pretty green field. Beautiful city shot. Queen looking through the window. I remember that was a pretty iconic shot right there. Dressed with the lights that glow down there at the bottom. Do I like Elton John? I actually went to one of his concerts when he came to Oklahoma City. It was pretty fun. I mean, I'm not like listening to Elton John when I'm driving down the road. I think I might have like one of the greatest hits CDs or something that I've really listened to. I'm going to say something very controversial about bands. Speaking of Elton John, I do not like the Beatles. I hate the Beatles. No one knows how Star Wars technology works. Valid point. Yeah. No one can explain the Death Star. It's true. It's funny how she's like, oh, I'm not going to do what you say, but, she's just listening to them, going with the flow. So what else could she do? And I was complaining in the video that I shot last night. I was complaining that there's like no one in the city except the royalty, but then it went out to a shot right there where there's people marching in groups. It would have been kind of cool to see the droids going crazy, just like shooting at people, shooting at places and stuff, just putting that fear in the city. But they didn't. It's just like a nice, clean little invasion that they did. What do I think about Star Wars Episode 8? I didn't like it. Last year, or not last year, whenever it came out, I did do a little reaction video when I came out of the theater with me and my wife and my sister and brother-in-law. We all saw it together. We came out and got everybody's little thoughts and just first reactions, and my wife liked it a lot. I didn't know how it was. I was just like a little confused. I was like, that I feel bummed out. I didn't like it. And I said in the video, I was like, I definitely liked the previous movie first, which was at the time Rogue One. Rogue One, I love that movie. I still like that movie. It's my favorite one in the whole new sequel era, I believe. So, I guess it's not a sequel era. In the sequel era of Star Wars filmmaking, I should say. Rogue One is my favorite, especially the ending. It's amazing. And the more I do watch Episode 8, which I've only watched it maybe 3 or 4 times since it's been released, I just get upset with it. I don't like it the more I watch it. Just lights powered by a visible extension cord, huh? See, you learn something new all the time. I love the confidence of Qui-Gon and Kenobi right here as they approach the droids holding the hostages. I do not like how the droids like okay, here we go. I want to get it right. He says like 3 times. He's a droid. The word is for people like me that can't get their thoughts together and are like, yeah. The droid saying just no. I guess it's for comic relief, but to me it just doesn't make much sense. Don't like it. You only seen it one time? Were you upset by it, Stryker? And they leave that. I love that ship. The ship they take off in, it's just, for some reason, it's always reminded me of a 70s Stingray Corvette. I believe those were in the 70s. Pretty sure they were. Before my time. That droid looks pretty cool. That white and gold one. Jeff, how's it going? I believe, yeah, Darth Maul should have definitely been in the next film. See, what bothers me about this scene, too, is like all the droids get wiped out really fast. And then R2's there for like 5 minutes, no problem whatsoever. Something should have been hit, at least like next to him, and caused a little bit of damage to him. They had to repair him, maybe. Like, just kind of like limps back into the ship or something. Yeah, the humor and definitely Rose. Yeah, it was the worst part of Episode 8. That, and I didn't really like Luke's how they portrayed Luke in that movie. Yeah, that's a good comment there, Rob. What a great queen abandoning her people after the city was just invaded. That's pretty funny. Well, 14-year-old girl, what do you expect? So the Phantom Menace came out in what, 1999? I was in the 9th grade. I think. I'm horrible with remembering dates too. Not for a Sith. See, the problem with Darth Maul is he was just too angry. He wanted his revenge so bad. See, it would be really cool if I could have this movie playing down in the corner. But, copyright. This part right here, I thought this was pretty funny here in just a second. It's not the queen. That's just the decoy that's being introduced to R2D2. It's like Padme must have pissed her off because she's like, "Go clean up this droid." It's just like, let's make the queen do it. Maybe that's her payback. It's like, oh, you just abandoned our city. Go clean the droid. What color saber do you think your wife would carry? That's a good question. Probably pink. It's like everything she buys now is like rose gold. So it have to be like a pinkish color, I'm sure, that or purple. I can't ever make up my mind on what color I would choose. Striker said, "What? Wait, she's 14." Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure where it verifies that. I remember that from the Weird Al song that came out after the movie. It was a parody. He's just 9 and she's 14. Yeah, that's right. She wasn't the youngest queen ever elected. Naboo is a silly place. Do you guys ever see Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail? That time they pull up on Camelot and everybody's dancing around, being silly. That's Naboo. So that's what Kenobi and Qui-Gon should have said is, Naboo, 'tis a silly place, and then turn around and just go away. Your mind is blown. 14 years old queen. They begin their trek across the desert. Now, in this scene, or any time that they're here on Tatooine, are there any other recognizable ships or characters walking around or flying around? Because I know in A New Hope, in the special editions, they put in the Outrider, which was Dash Rendar's ship. Your wife would go with the Mace Windu dark purple, violet. Yeah, I always liked Mace Windu's blade. Actually, in that Fallen Order, whenever I got the option to change my my blade color, I went with a dark purple. So maybe that might be what I would do too, because it's just so different. You got a guy walking around with a bucket on his head. That's pretty good. It's like looking around trying to find new things in the background. See, Jeff, you get to build your lightsaber, which is I still can't comprehend how awesome that is. The feelings that you must have felt going into that place to build your saber. Here's Watto, another character that was accused of being racist because of his accent. People take things way too serious. And here's like with Watto, once you look at his beard, you can't stop looking at it. It is so nasty. Like how one of his tusks is broken as well. It's pretty cool. And it's Jar Jar just being stupid. Oh, sticking out his tongue. You're so funny. You had to repair it today. Huh, batteries died. Did you dress up like, did you put a cloak on and sit down and just kind of try to use the Force to put the batteries in? The moons of Yago. Has that been explored anywhere in the expanded universe? The moons of Yago? Apparently that's where the angels come from. It'd be kind of cool if they talked about that more. And I don't want to give any spoilers away for like The Mandalorian, but there's a droid in the back behind Anakin that's just kind of staying in the same spot, just kind of rotating a little bit. It looks like a droid that was in the last episode of The Mandalorian, episode 6, I believe. This is what it reminds me of. If I saw them side by side, I'm probably way off, but when the droids that were in the Mandalorian were actually moving. And I'm going to say this. I don't mean to be offensive or use the word incorrectly. I sincerely want to know, is Jar Jar Binks mentally retarded? Because he kind of seems that way. Like he has a condition in his brain that keeps him from performing normal tasks and, being on that level that's just average. Wife says yes. Had to strip it down to the kyber crystal. Wow. It'd suck if you forgot how to put it back together. You just get the pieces all over the place. I'm sure there's YouTube videos about it. There's Jar Jar just juggling. Don't touch anything. He comes back and he's juggling. Then he drops everything. Oh, look, they go that way, but I'm going to look the other way and be confused on which way they go. See, these gotta be retarded. Why don't go shave your beard? And does he have hooves? I can't tell what his feet are. I can't tell if they're like webs, but like he has webbed feet, but because he's up in the air, they're just kind of like drooping down. And if he stood on the ground, would they flatten out? But it just kind of looks like hooves to me, too. If he is, remember, he's a senator in Attack of the Clones. That's true. We asked the same question about everybody here in the U.S. and that holds political office. Are they mentally stable? There's a funny looking. Okay, they just came up to the table. Jar Jar, being who he is like gonna steal some food. There is a Rodian in the background that's just sitting still, not moving. It's got to be a dummy that's just set up like in that spot to look like, oh, there's somebody sitting here. But it's kind of creepy because he's just like staring. His food gets knocked into Sebulba. Sebulba jumps out, attacks him. Oh, chokes him. I like everybody's just like watching it too. Oh, Anakin has to come save the day. You refer to the pictures you took. Good idea, Jeff. And also with Jar Jar Binks, his feet. I know it sounds like I'm just talking about feet. You got Watto with his possible hooves, and Jar Jar. Shouldn't he have like web feet for swimming, not giant blocky feet? I mean, they live underwater. Sebulba's friends look so miserable. Panaka's hat looks so silly too. I mean, it makes sense to have that in a desert. Keeps the wind from blowing all the sand on your neck. Keeps the sun off. You're not getting burnt. But on Naboo, what purpose does it serve? I don't blame Anakin for hating sand. A lot of people make fun of that line, but hey, when the kid grew up in a desert, especially with sandstorms like this, man, that would suck. It's blowing in your face, getting in your hair, in your eyes, be burning. And they get to his house. There's some stuff in Anakin's room that I actually recognize as like normal objects. These are my friends that I just met 10 minutes ago. The innocence of children. Yeah, it's true. People are just used to all the craziness. Okay, right there, there's like this. There's two objects in there that you would put a ball in and you'd throw them, and it's like they're shaped like they're curved. They're like just normal toys that you'd find. And there's something else on the wall too that I saw in a Dollar Tree. I know this is a random thing, but I remember walking in the Dollar Tree before I saw this movie. There it is hanging on the wall on the right side of C3PO. It was a dog toy. It's a red rubber dog toy, and they spray painted it silver. I remember after seeing this movie thinking, I just saw that thing. I need to go back and buy it, but I didn't. Because wasn't able to drive whenever this came out. I started driving when Attack of the Clones came out, and for some reason I drove myself to the theater, me and my friends, 5 times to go see that movie. There's also a little doll in there too that looks like a plastic toy. There's a doll in there that looks, or statue that looks like Maz Kanata, and I think someone's come out like in the story group has said, no, that's not a statue of Maz Kanata. I mean, clearly it's not because of the story. There's probably no thought of Maz Kanata in George's mind at this time. Just some character that J.J. Abrams wrote. But it would have been cool if they were like, actually, yeah, that is a little statue of Maz Kanata, just to link it back somehow, The moon up there in Coruscant kind of looks like ours. I was thinking about 7 Solo should have wiped out the Hutts and became a new gangster head. That would have been pretty cool. The old man smuggler was too painful to watch. I agree. That would have been cool if he became the top gangster. And Leia just couldn't stand it, so she had to bail on him. So there you have Jar Jar Binks licking his plate like a dog. And he has a fork, a utensil on his plate, but he'd rather put his face on the plate and lick it. See, there's that thing that Anakin's wearing around his neck too. I can't tell if it's just like a necklace or if it's like some sort of Under Armour under his shirt. Like if it's like another shirt underneath. It looks like beads or something, really long beads or something. Maybe even leather strips. Which would make sense to be wearing some sort of armor underneath your clothing there in Tatooine. Never know what's going to happen. You want to get shanked in an alleyway. Food on their plates looks pretty disgusting. It looks like oatmeal. Drunk 3PO, you love this movie. It's pretty good. It's actually my most rewatched prequel film. In college, I remember whenever I couldn't sleep, I'd put this on and just doze off like when the pod races started. It's not my favorite of the prequel trilogies either. It's just my most rewatched. The music's pretty good. I like how they released that extended soundtrack. It would be nice if they did that to begin with, but you know how they got to get their monies. Monies. He loves the pod race. The only human that can do it. So he says. I mean, how would he know if he's the only human that can do it? I guess if he's up on the stats and all that stuff, it would make sense. It also shows you that apparently humans aren't the smartest being out there, because if only one human can pod race, clearly the inventor wasn't a human. Some smarter, more talented race out there. Makes me wonder what race in Star Wars created hyperspace. What alien species? Drunk 3PO, I even have a big YouTube channel. Ha 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 ha. How did that feel? The Queen won't approve. Well, the Queen doesn't need to know. You're saying it to the Queen, and then she says, "Well, I don't approve." Where? And sits down. See, I can't stop looking at that nasty beard that he has. Yeah, I don't know why I saw episode 2 in theaters 5 times. Might have even been 6. I used to save my movie theater tickets back when, they used paper for the tickets. Now it's all digital. I have a bag somewhere downstairs, some drawer somewhere, where I kept a bunch of my movie tickets from the stuff I went to when I was a kid. And I know I found 5 tickets for Attack of the Clones. Yeah, this movie has one of the best lightsaber duels in all of Star Wars. I agree. However, it's not my favorite. Drunk 3PO, is it your favorite? How about everybody that's in the chat? What's your favorite lightsaber duel? What film? And thank you, folks, for joining me on my first real live video that was just a spur of the moment thing. Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. Episode 3. Would it be with Anakin and Obi-Wan? Yeah, they were pretty cool. That was a good one. There's one part about the duel that I didn't watch. Didn't like that much. Was when they both went and used the Force at the same time. It was cool, but it is a little cheesy, but still really cool. I think my favorite lightsaber duel is in The Empire Strikes Back. Is when Vader and Luke face off for the first time. I love it. It just seems so powerful. Jeff, what's your favorite lightsaber fight? See, what if Qui-Gon just decided, I'm going to go rogue and just go and kill all the slavers? Then everybody would be free on the planet, right? Is that Warwick Davis dressed up in the Rhodian outfit? I think that kind of sounds like him. Dooku versus Yoda. Yeah, I remember. I remember some guy in the movie theater when I saw Attack of the Clones, when Yoda drops his cane and just starts, going at it, doing all the flips and stuff. And then at the end of it, he picks his cane back up. Some guy screams like, "That ain't even necessary!" And the whole theater cracked up. It was pretty funny at the time. It was true because he just used all his force powers, I guess, to have the energy to do all the crazy flips and jumps. Very cool style, though. Episode 3 has the best duel. The Last Jedi has the worst. Yeah, what duel? What duel in The Last Jedi? Is Christopher Lee better as Dooku or Saruman? Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna have to say Saruman. Lord of the Rings is so great. I like how dark he was in that film compared to Star Wars. He would have been cooler. Maybe Christopher Lee being in Star Wars was awesome, but I think he would have been cooler if he was like sitting on the Jedi Council, and maybe Dooku was maybe kind of a younger guy or somebody the same age as Qui-Gon would have made sense. But then again, Qui-Gon was his apprentice, so just forget what I said. But yeah, better as Saruman, yes. Thank you, Drunk 3PO. Thanks for joining. Have a good evening. I like how Qui-Gon lies here. He just straight up lies. I'm going to test your blood for infections. And he sends it off. He's like, I need you to Kenobi. I need you to analyze this. Tell me how many midichlorians are in it. Checking your blood for infections. No, you're not. Lying. And it's funny there, too. It's like a wide shot of the city or neighborhood, and nobody's out. Yes, all the slaves had to go to bed early, but all the lights were on. Should have had another person just kind of out in the alley doing something. Even Master Yoda doesn't have a midichlorian count that high. So, do you think that in Revenge of the Sith, because he just said his midichlorian count is higher than Master Yoda's, that maybe Yoda should have battled Darth Vader instead of Kenobi, and maybe Kenobi go after Sidious? The outcome would have been the same either way. Let him run, but I just think it would have been cooler to have Anakin, if he's so powerful, really just put Yoda to shame. That would have been cool to see. See, Darth Maul arrives now. Scans the city, sends his droids out with this nifty little bracelet. I can imagine Obi-Wan saying, yeah, he also has AIDS. Yeah. Then Qui-Gon's like, guys, we got to go. He's like, oh my God, I touched him. Here in the hangar where they're getting all their pod racers ready. It's fun looking around in the background at all the different things going on. Some Twi'leks back there with Sebulba getting his nails done. Never noticed that. Oh yeah, Jar Jar's scared of him. Sebulba should have done us all a favor and just put Jar Jar out of his misery. Hey, Ryan. Welcome. I was trying to free both the mother and the child, but Watto isn't having it. There's a guy in the background right there. He's all in black and he has a red bandana. Reminds me of the Foot Clan from the Ninja Turtles. See, I can't remember what race those people are. It's one of the most obvious ones too. Yeah, there's that Foot Clan guy. Ooh, he's making threats. He's gonna own them too. Yeah, stare him down. Get all those leather satchels on that animal, whatever it is. Do you guys like the exposed 3PO? I think it looks kind of cool. See all the little inner workings moving around and lights blinking inside. Yeah, I just did a little spur of the moment thing. Everybody's in bed sleeping, and I thought I'll go ahead and do a live stream. I actually tried to do it last night to post later, but before it could even post, Disney claimed a copyright strike against me, so it wasn't going to post. There's some weird looking alien walked right by the camera. He had like a skeletal face and a red um, space suit on. Anybody know what that thing was? Imagine if Jango Fett was George Lucas and the clone army of Georges, and they all laugh at the same time. That'd have been funny. Bigfoot is actually a Wookiee hiding on Earth. Yeah, could be. His ship crashed. That big crater that's in what, Arizona or New Mexico, it was actually his ship that crashed. And he fled to the hills. And do you guys remember the pod racing game that was released on Nintendo 64 way back in the day? That was a pretty fun game. I remember renting that at Blockbuster. Never owned it. I miss Blockbuster. Miss the good old days. Star Wars Reviewed. Hello there. General Kenobi. Missed my opportunity. Yeah, you've also wondered what the species was. Now, I know there's another one that looks more like Ghostface from Scream. It's actually the second reference to Scream that I've made tonight. I can't remember what those are either, but I believe that was also in a book, Heir to the Jedi, part of the new canon books. Horrible book. One of the worst books I've ever read. It was actually supposed to be part of the expanded universe, but see, we got a fart joke. Look at, yeah. P-Usa, stupid. That book Heir to the Jedi was supposed to be part of the expanded universe, but they decided, not going to happen, so let's make it canon. The book sucked, and it had one of those ghost-faced aliens, and it was all about math equations, and they were super smart, and maybe they were the race that created the hyperspace, like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, math equations in a book about Star Wars. Ugh. Slimo. Spope was a jerk, going over to like an 8-year-old kid's or 9-year-old kid's pod race and just start pulling off parts. What a beehole. A Given. That's right. The Given. That review that I did about that book was more of a rant than anything. This is before I found my rhythm of how to do book reviews. It's just such a long rant, like 5 or 6 minute rant. You liked Heir to the Jedi. Well, everybody likes things. Everybody hates things. Everybody's got their own opinion. And, that's cool. So that Twi'lek, that male right there next to Jabba the Hutt, is showing him, and there's a female Hutt behind him. Is that the same dude that's in Return of the Jedi? Can't think of his name. And for some reason, like ever since I've seen Star Wars Return of the Jedi, the special edition in theaters, it's my first time I ever saw it. I thought that Twi'lek that's with Jabba was a total perv. There's another about him just like screams that dude is a pedophile. It's a big crowd there to watch some pod racing. The effects in the pod race still are pretty nice. It's pretty sad though too, seeing the some of these guys die. Ib Fortuna. That's right. See, I can't retain anything, you guys. You actually own. You have the N64, and the only game you own is Shadows of the Empire. Shadows of the Empire was one of the best games ever made to this date. After GoldenEye 007, that is, in my opinion. But yeah, I still have my Nintendo 64. I have Rogue Squadron, Empire, the Shadows of the Empire, and just a couple other things, like Donkey Kong 64. It's great stuff. But did you guys know if that was actually Bib Fortuna? Yes, Bib Fortuna. Is that who is next to him here in the pod racing scene? It's Warwick Davis. Sebulba's pod racer is the coolest sounding, in my opinion. Surprised Jar Jar Binks has the attention span to watch this. I don't like Jar Jar Binks, if you can tell. Bib Fortuna's brother. That's right. I do remember something about him having a brother. Isn't there a new canon book with his brother in it? Pod racing through the valley. And there's that Aura Singh. I think she was supposed to have a bigger part in the films, but George didn't really follow through on that. And she showed up later on in the Clone Wars. You believe it was him? Or seeing watching the pod race, right? You can only see it in the wide screen version. Okay. I still have the VHS of. Oh, guy just ran into a rock and died. I still have the VHS copy of this. Now, I remember the movie that I remember the most watching on VHS was Ghostbusters. And when I saw that for the first time in widescreen, it blew my mind. There was so much stuff happening on the the widescreen that you never saw on a VHS. So many funny things that happened too. Oh, Quadranero's power cup just blew up. Well, he's pissed. In a tight spot too. Surprised we didn't get another pod race like in the sequel trilogy. Wonder if episode 9 is going to be just like the best of Star Wars, and JJ's going to throw in a little bit of all the stuff that everybody liked the most. Or if it's just going to be completely original. I don't know. We'll find out in about a week. Now, there's those companies that make like replica helmets and stuff. I've seen like X-Wing helmets, Resistance helmets, you got obviously your Imperial stuff. Did they ever make an actual replica of Anakin's pod racing helmet? Because I don't remember ever seeing one of those. I can imagine a big crowd, like a lot of the fans of this stuff would love it. Isn't Bib Fortuna's brother and Saw's hideout in? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's it. Bib Fortuna's brother's hiding out with Saw in Rogue One. That's right. You're smart. That makes sense now. I remember that. All my books are behind me. I'd check it out, but I'm in a tight spot here too because I put up some Christmas lights. They're all hanging up on a light stand behind me. If I move back, I might bring it all down. Whoop, and another death right there in the pod racing. He's spinning out of control. Jar Jar comprehends it. And I believe it just showed a given species in the crowd right there. I also have like this alternate vision of this scene when he's like using the magnet to pull that part back onto his pod racer. Like, kind of would have been cool if he like used the force to pull it and attach it. Maybe that would have been too much. I think that would have been cool. Flying through the cave again. Yep, shooting. Tusken Raiders. There's a lot of people that are upset about the Tusken Raiders in one of the latest episodes of The Mandalorian, which I don't mind what they did. I thought it was kind of cool. A little humorous. Final lap. See, if this video gets pulled by Disney again, I'm going to be pretty pissed. Because I don't think I'm doing anything to violate any sort of copyright laws, am I? Just talking about a movie. We're talking Star Wars in the chat. Okay, it kind of looks like when Obi-Wan went to the archives. Yeah. Did all the stars around him. That was pretty cool. Two random Jawas watching watching the pod race towards the end. Jawas are funny. They make me laugh. Thanks, Striker. Thanks for joining me. Have a great night. Thanks for joining. Skywalker pulls in the lead. People are pissed about it. My lights. Oh yeah, the stars. I had the option to make them white. Should have done that. That would have been a good idea. Oh, there they are. Jawas. The crappy webcam that I'm using on this computer. I don't even know if they show up red or not. Oh, his engines got some trouble. Smoking right there in Sebulba's face. And then he's got the overly exaggerated coughing going on, just sucking in more of that smoke. And Sebulba takes the lead. Oh, what's happening? It's getting tense, guys. So do you think if like there was an alternate, like what if scenario in Star Wars, and say Anakin loses the race, doesn't die, but he just loses? You think Qui-Gon would have just gone into Watto's place and just like put a saber through his chest, takes the part he needs, and like we're out of here? Or do you think they would have just been stranded there for forever? I think a lot of this stuff in this pod race scene was actually digital mixed with miniatures, maybe. Oh, this wide shot of them going through that desert. Hooked together now. Uh-oh. Eat my exhaust. Anakin used to say that in the pod racing game. That's funny. Had to go to the cantina and hire a pilot. That would have been cool too. Find a. Oh, would have Han wouldn't have been born yet. Chewie would have been cool. Well, no, Clone Wars wouldn't have happened yet. Yeah, find a different pilot. Everything would have been different. Yay, Anakin wins the race. See, in a video game, the achievement would have been unlocked of some sort. This is cool. I'd never noticed in the background it shows a picture of Anakin and his pod racer kind of just like twirling on a computer monitor. And there is a Rodian in the background he's getting down, man. He's dancing. Jabba's falling asleep, the fat bastard. Big old slug. What does that mean? I'm sorry, guys. Okay. In wide shots, the pod race stands were a model. That's right. The people inside were painted Q-tips. Isn't it crazy how they do these things with movies? It all just plays with our mind. It's people coming to collect their credits from Watto. Watto doesn't look too clean right there. Like the effect kind of blurred. There's a lot of Rodians on Tatooine. And the family of one of the pod racers that just like walked by in the background, the kids were doing fine, but I think the wife was crying. That's pretty sad. Nice little detail that they threw in though too. And here's that one remark that Kenobi says, picked up a pathetic life form. Why do I sense we've picked up another pathetic life form? Well, that pathetic life form is gonna kill you one day. And destroy the whole Jedi Order. So I guess he was pathetic. Do you think these extras in the background still tell people like, yeah, I was in that movie? Yeah, you can see me at the 1 hour, 13 minute, and 35-second mark. I would. Dude, and this part always kind of was weirded me out too when he comes back and he's like, oh, I'm free. You're not, Mom. Sorry, I can only save one. But and then she like turns to Qui-Gon and is like, will you take him with you? Like, lady, you're his mom. Why are you asking if he's just going to take him? But I guess that's what the Jedi do, though, too, right? They just take babies that have the Force. It's pretty sad. See, she's like, will you take him with you? And then blah, blah, blah. And then he turns to her and is like, can I go? And then she's like, well, it's up to you. She just doesn't care. Oh, wait, what about Mom? Does she get to go? It's messed up. Guys, once again, thanks for joining the spur of the moment stream. I definitely would like to do more of these. Can't stop the change. That's right. Things are always changing. She has a bracelet with little spikes on it. It's for whacking people in the head. It looks like some of the stuff in the background look like big garage door springs. I hear sirens outside. Is that Disney? They're coming to get me? I remember seeing Anakin's backpack and thought it was the coolest thing. It's like a hard shell. Got to stream 9 more before Friday. Yeah, right. I would if I could. If I had the time, I think that would be so much fun. Nope. Gotta go to work in the morning. Not tomorrow, Monday. All the kids go to bed at like 7:30. Usually the wife's like, let's watch something. So luckily I got to do this tonight. I mean, what time is it right now? I don't even know. I don't have a... As of right now, it's 11:05. I don't know how much longer this movie is, but maybe another hour, I believe. And I can say goodbye to his mom with this cool backpack. It's like the hard shell backpack with like a CD case and a drink holder. I still want one of those. Mouse is on his way. Yeah, right now. Wouldn't surprise me. That's why I have the headphones on now, so that there's no audio coming from the film. In the stream that I did yesterday, well, the recording that I did yesterday, after I filmed it, I put it up to have a release earlier today, and I had it set to where it was like announcing, like, "Hey guys, I'm going to have a video pop up. Make sure you watch the premiere thing." And before that happened, they were like, "Your video's been removed, copyright strike against Disney." And I'm like wondering, and I went back and listened to the video, and you could barely hear the audio. So maybe I used a tag, the Phantom Menace watch along or something. I don't know what happened, but they flagged it. Just makes me upset, pissed off. But, you know, it's their property. So now with the headphones, you can't hear it. You can't see it. But I'm telling you, we're thinking that Darth Maul sits on his bike and he takes off slow and then falls off the cliff. It'd be funny right there if there's a sound effect because a little mushroom cloud shoots up. They don't have to worry about anything. And he's just coming straight at Anakin, gonna run him right over. Oh, perfect timing. And there's like a digital Maul right there, and he takes his first step. It looks strange. Will I do an episode 9 predictions video? I would like to. If I can get away maybe tomorrow night, Jeff, maybe I could have you join me on a video or something. If everybody goes to bed. I know my wife isn't feeling too well today. I have a feeling she's going to be pretty sick tomorrow, too. Have I read The Force Collector yet? No, I have not, sadly. Like I said that in my recent a channel update video, I've had the book. I got the book early. It's here in my desk. I got it early, but something happened where I just got lazy, and I had Maul's lightsaber looked orange right there as the ship took off. I got Force Collector right here. Haven't started. I just got lazy and haven't finished reading. There's another book that's not Star Wars, Bleak Creek. Halfway through it, but just been lazy and haven't had any interest in reading anything. And I don't like that. I need to fix that problem. Uh-oh. Smash a cable in my drawer. I need to fix that problem. Stop being lazy and read. I love reading. It was like mid-October when I was like, I got to put the book down for a second. I'll get back to it. And I haven't. I do have the audio version of Force Collector. They sent that to me as well. But it's on my computer that's dead. I have that computer right here, guys, if you want to see it. Phantom Menace is still playing. Sorry. Check this out, guys. This is a MacBook Pro. You see that? How it warped? It won't shut either. I don't know what happened to it. It's been turned off for like a month. And then I was like, you know what? I need to log on and update some stuff on my phone, get some different music, add the Christmas music on, take some photos off my phone to clean out the memory. But then I saw it was bubbled up and I was like, I don't want to turn it on because I don't want the thing blowing up in my face. So I'm on this little tiny laptop that I got for like $120 on Amazon, little HP. It's got a really bad webcam. Hopefully there's not a huge delay in the audio or anything, but yeah, all that to say, I will be reading Force Collector soon. Going to the in-laws after Christmas, maybe. And if we do, maybe I'll take the book. Probably won't be able to have a chance to read it there because it's just chaos. People are suffering and dying. Padme's with Anakin right now. She's not sure what's going to happen. And then he pulls out a little necklace that he makes. Yep, hold that in your hands. So one day they'll be your cold, dead hands will still have a grasp on that thing. Apple, our product's warping is normal. I actually got on support and said, hey, I have a question. Why is my computer doing this? I even sent pictures, and the guy was like, well, I don't know. People don't really get a hold of us with computers from 2010. Like, oh, okay. Who has the money to go buy $2,000 laptop every other year? Stupid. My desktop, my iMac from 2007 is running just fine. Of course, it hasn't had updates in forever, but it's running just fine. Matt Wilkins, hey, thanks for joining. Started to reread the Wheel of Time series 2 weeks ago. Still only 4 chapters in. It's a long book. That series is really long. I mean, I started reading it 2014. I'm only on book 5. Just I haven't picked it up in forever though either. Finally reaching the exciting part of the movie. Yep, here we are on Coruscant. There's old Senator Palpatine. He's so anxious to hear the report. And once again, I did say it earlier at the beginning. Reading Cloak of Deception before watching this film is highly recommended. It's a really good book. Leads right up to the before this movie. I love how sick and twisted Sidious is. I love the confusion on Anakin too. He's like, do I go that way? That way? Wait, what do I do? And that driver, that shuttle, he is one ugly looking dude. I like how it looks practical, but man, it's so ugly. I hate to be in that Coruscant traffic. It's like it's all these levels there on Coruscant. I mean, don't you think that down below, like you have all this runoff water and just things get rusty and maybe the buildings would collapse in on themselves over time? Or there's that, maintenance guy that's just got to go down there. Like they're all standing around. It's like, there's a problem down on floor 13, 12. Somebody's got to go down there. And they all just kind of look around at each other. Yep, someone's got to go down there. They look at poor Steve. He never comes back up. See, I think Ian McDiarmid is the perfect actor for Palpatine. He's also in one of my other favorite movies, Dragon Slayer from 1981. I talk about that movie a lot on this channel because I really highly recommend that you go check that movie out. I think you could rent it and even buy it on YouTube. They never released it on Blu-ray, sadly. I don't know why. Palpatine should have just been smoking a penguin cigarette, going, ha ha ha, yes, yes, the whole time. Yeah, yes, yes. That would have been funny. Disappointed in the new movies and books are ignoring Coruscant. Yeah, they are. That's so weird. You think they would have included it somewhere. I mean, it's where it all happened, you know? It all started. What does the Jedi Temple look like now? After Palpatine had his way with it. Here you are with the Council, the Jedi Council. The weird snake guy in the background with the furry face. We got Yoda, Mace Windu, Coyote Mundi, Yaddle, Plo Koon, and I'm not sure who else. Don't know their names. Depa Balapa, right? Isn't that one of them? Yaddle. I think I already said Yaddle. And there's another ugly looking dude that kind of looks like Yoda's species, but he's palish pink and his ears go the other direction. What's that about? I think some people used to argue that Samuel L. Jackson was a horrible addition to the film, but I thought he did great as Mace Windu. So has it ever really been resolved that Anakin is the chosen one? I mean, now that there's two canons in the expanded universe, did the Sith ever return? Was balance out of order again? Because in like new canon, obviously, I mean, we don't know yet if it's obvious or not, but like if Palpatine's actually coming back, Anakin wouldn't have been a chosen one because he never wiped out, made complete balance, right? Because he was a Sith, Sidious a Sith, Sidious dies, Vader dies as a Jedi, Luke lives. So then there's a Jedi out there with no Sith. So it doesn't sound like balance to me. I say no. No snacks. Ryan would at least be eating some candy corn at this point. Yeah, I saw his little rants about candy corn. I love candy corn. I like it. I didn't have any this year. But no snacks. Just some water that I have yet to drink. Evil peel. Crispy eating filet mignon. Yeah. Some nachos. Yeah, I thought about it. I have some pita bread and some hummus downstairs, but I've never felt comfortable eating in front of people, especially on a live stream. It's be kind of weird. I love the Senate scene. It's cool seeing uh, all the different people there, different races. Jeff, you say no, not the chosen one. Rob D's got some chips, Matt. You like sour cream and onion, Matt? Shit, I know I'm not the first person to say this, clearly, but like in the scene, we've got little ETs running around. Now, it's pretty funny that they put that in here because I remember in the movie E.T., uh, they're playing with Star Wars toys, and when they're walking around on Halloween, there's a kid dressed up as Yoda, and then E.T. walks by and he's like pointing at him and he's like, home, home. So that's a weird type of another canon that you could get into, right? You could legit watch a whole movie of just the Senate proceedings. Yeah, I remember back when the college days, for some reason, if I had a little bit too much to drink, would sit down and just skip to the political stuff and the saber fights in all the films. Times have changed. I wonder if there's a book out there that has every single species that's in the Senate room. Be a pretty big book. Uh-oh. Everybody's getting pissed. Vote or no confidence. They're not really pissed. I guess they kind of. There's little ET guys. You know, I found a book that was actually a sequel to ET, but I failed to pick it up. I wish I did, because I haven't seen it since. The boy's too old. So I really like how that book that I was talking about, Cloak of Deception, kind of went into Qui-Gon Jinn's beliefs in the Force. It was very interesting. In the new canon book, Master and Apprentice, we learned it was pretty neat seeing the relationship between him and Obi-Wan Kenobi, but we didn't really get that deep with Qui-Gon in the Force, because he was really into the living Force. Man, I just skipped to the Leia at Jabba's palace when I was in college for the dialogue, of course. Yes, yeah. So I just put on the prequels because it was just like the flashy lights and I don't know. Me and my college roommates would just kind of argue about the films too. I researched Yoda, and everything says he's an unknown species. There's no way he can be what they. There's no way that can be possible. It's true. Or that Coruscant traffic, man, it never stops. And we get to see more of the under levels of Coruscant in the Clone Wars for a little bit. But I could be wrong, Matt. Since you're still here, are you a closet Jar Jar fan? No, I was actually asking earlier, Matt, if legitimately asking, is Jar Jar Binks mentally retarded? Because he's just on a completely different level. Yeah, I hate Jar Jar Binks. How could they not know his race? I don't know. We've only seen 2 of the species. Matt, I think I was going to ask you a question. Yes, the Coruscant. We see the underlevels of Coruscant a few times in the expanded universe, and I was reading the New Republic era when I started reading it, and I can't remember what books there are where we do go down there, but I remember like when the Han and Leia's kids go down there, I think with Chewie. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about all this stuff, but they do go down in the depths of Coruscant in the New Republic era, correct? The stories in Return of the Jedi that deal with Underworld, Jedi Academy trilogy, and the New Jedi Order. That's okay. The Academy, yeah. Okay, thank you. I knew that I've read about some of the stuff under there, but couldn't quite remember. The Young Jedi Knight book series. I think it would be very dangerous to be that one alien with a really long neck to be messing with lightsabers. And I like the change in Yoda in this movie. I remember when it came out, it was a puppet. They tried to use the puppet again, but it was so ugly. Yoda just looked like a completely different version of that species. So I appreciate the update, how they made it consistent with Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. I believe he has a little bit more hair on his head too. It's just like that puppet that they use is like Yoda was on crack or something. And we got to draw out the Queen's attacker. And unravel the mysteries of the Sith. If there's ever a Sith movie that comes out, I would love. I don't know if I'd want to see Darth Plagueis or Darth Bane more. I love the Darth Bane trilogy. If you haven't read the Darth Bane trilogy, you guys definitely need to read the Darth Bane trilogy. Such a great character piece. Then again, I don't know if I'd want those to be movies. I'd really want it to be like a series so we could really dive into the character and actually like do a really good adaptation of those books. Am I a closet Baby Yoda fan? Actually, yes. No, I'm out of that closet. I really I enjoy it. I like the Baby Yoda. People get freaked out saying it's not Baby Yoda. It's like, well, I mean, what do we call it? Baby James. There's little Jim. Just the Yoda baby, you know. It's cool. I mean, I'm not going to buy the toy. I mean, I said I might earlier in this video, but uh, probably not. For my kid saw it, my 5-year-old was like, "Is that a little one? A Yoda thing?" And I was like, "Yep." And he said, "Why is it so cute?" I said, well, it just is. Waru 2020. Don't go there. I'll do another one of my little smear campaign ads. Or I'll do Baby Yoda 2020. Waru. Gosh, that's like, guys, there's only 7 of you in here right now at this live chat. You guys know who Waru is? And if he was real, would you vote for him? Get a yay or nay. There's Jar Jar Binks. We're going home. Yay. Stupid Gungan. You blast him out into space. That palace there is so nice. So royal. Cool statues in the background. The hallways are so wide. Yoda, it makes me sad that everyone in this council is going to die about 25 years before I do. Yeah. It's pretty sad. There's those theories that Mace Windu didn't die. Jar Jar Binks. Me? No, the other Jar Jar Binks. Moron. We don't have much time. Here I noticed. Well, never mind. That spaceship just looks really cool. It was earlier. The spaceship's shadow didn't line up, right? It was like the same size when it was coming down, the shadow just stayed the same. Didn't look right. I think the most embarrassing thing to be like with these movies would have to, hey, we're gonna have to cut your hair like this. Couldn't do it. The Padawan hairstyle. It looks so stupid. I think the water here too looks kind of fake. Jar Jar comes back up to tell everybody that oh, they're all gone. How funny would it have been too if they didn't flee and when Jar Jar went down there, they just arrested him again and then just threw him in a cell, didn't listen to him. If it doesn't show their body, they're not dead. It's true. There's little baby Gungans. Not babies, but like little kids. Some things that fly by that look like dinosaurs. It's like two Gungan kids. And up there on the far, up on the top right, there's a that obese Gungan. He probably swims really slow, or he just like he gets out of that little bubble and just floats to the top. Sorry, that's mean. Shouldn't say mean things. Expect like in this scene, the thing that I said earlier about Boss Nass, what looks so CGI is his clothes, just doesn't look right. Do you wonder how Qui-Gon felt after he, like, when he found out that Padme was the queen? How if he felt dumb for telling her, like, well, I don't care what the queen says. Like, oh, well, she doesn't know. Everybody bow to Boss Nass. Fill up his ego. There's another bigger Gungan. There's a guy in the background, like everybody's kneeling. It looks like his hand is like resting on a blaster. Yeah, it could be funny if they just checked out the wrong lake. It wouldn't surprise me. Jar Jar. The whole city's gone. Everything. In the background, it's showing the Nemoidians again. There's one in the background that didn't have a headpiece on. It shows his bald head. Darth Maul looking ticked off. Yeah, this is where the fun begins. Yep. It's a line I actually use on a regular basis. Oh, the Bombad General. Oh. Leave everybody in the general's hands. It'd be funny if he just like stepped on top of Jar Jar when he walked by him instead of walking around him. Somebody make a special edition, kind of like they did with A New Hope. Just let him just step up and hear like a little squeal. What's your wife's favorite prequel movie? Oh man, I think she liked I think she liked Revenge of the Sith. It was funny because she never saw the Star Wars movies until I introduced them to her when we were in college, and I I showed them to her from episode 1 to episode 6. Uh, and it's funny, she cried when Anakin switched when he turned. But yeah, I think she liked Revenge of the Sith the most. Happy holidays. Yes, yes. Christmas is right around the corner. Hope everybody has a happy holiday and Merry Christmas. So I've got. I thought I'd be festive and put some lights up behind me. You guys ever thought about like what other actor or actress you would want to play some of these roles? Like who else would have been a good Qui-Gon Jinn or Kenobi or Padme? Who could replace Natalie Portman? In my opinion, anybody could replace Natalie Portman. Chris, hey Chris, have you ever seen the Phantom edit? No, I have not. Is it pretty good? Oh yeah, if I remember right, the book has the Gungan captain. Uh, Tarples in the movie was pissed that Jar Jar became the general. Understandable, very understandable. Remember, here we go. Those that's real foggy. They're all walking through. Remember that from the original trailer. Yeah, blasting that cool horn. What does anybody know what instrument they used in like real life for that? It kind of sounds like a didgeridoo. Where do you find the Phantom edit? It's one of those things you just like have to find at cons, or is there places online that you can watch it? It's funny, like the droid army's coming over the hill, and there's some of those little um, fat. I don't know what they are, what they're called, like the cattle type thing that they're riding on in episode 2, or that are like feeding in the pastures around them when Padme and Anakin are in the field. For some reason, they always reminded me of bloated ticks mixed with cows. Why not watch the holiday special for Christmas? Man, I don't have a copy of the holiday special. When a friend of mine gave me the soundtrack, which is pretty funny. Has a great commentary track as well. It's pretty respectful. Lucas subtle effect changes. That'd be pretty neat to watch. Yeah, Chris, I filmed one of these videos yesterday to post today, and I got lucky, and my wife was like, "I'm going to bed early," and all the kids are down, so I was like, "I'm going to go try to redo this video live." Um, but Disney took it down, so they're pretty quick about taking things down. eBay, you want to be on my channel more than Chris? Yeah, I definitely want to do stuff with you guys. Be fun. Maybe we could plan to watch something all at the same time. Let's do one of these with one of you guys or both of you guys. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this. I should have announced it earlier today that I was going to do it, but I didn't even know I was going to be able to do it. I posted the video last night and checked my email this morning. And it was like, your video has been blocked by Disney. I was like, oh, thanks, Disney. And one of the famous Wilhelm screams just happened. One of the Naboo pilots got hit. I like the Naboo starfighters. They look kind of cool. Holiday specials on YouTube. Let's watch Matt's video and do a live commentary. Yeah, let's do it. The civilized discussion uh, about the civilized discussion. We can just comment. Yeah, just commentary Matt's expanded universe videos, his reviews. Jar Jar's telling everybody to be steady. Okay, Jar Jar. Or we just start calling Binks. Say Binks. It's like, I'm surprised people didn't start doing that. You know, like people would pick on other people that just call them by their last name. Hey, Binks, just go drown in the lake. Binks, get hit with a blue ball in your face. You love the Naboo starfighter pilot or starfighter concept art with the pinkish sky background. Yeah, I haven't really looked into a lot of the art from the prequel films. There's some pretty awesome books out there about it. It's funny with concept art too, because it's like a lot of the time stuff that's in concept art uh, is way cooler than the final product. Like the choices they went with, especially with the sequel trilogy stuff. I have the art of books for most of the new films, and it's like the stuff that's in the books is way cooler than the stuff they actually went with. You're at the gym right now. This is how the conversation went with the missus. See, Anakin listened. So you stay in that cockpit. No arguing. He just did. It's funny if they had to use the 1, 2, 3 magic on them. That's one. But I just need, that's two. All right, now you're in timeout. Darth Maul, here we go. Duel of the Fates. The battle begins. Here comes some droids. We're rolling up on them. Yeah, that's how they. It seems like the mothers always get the easy way out sometimes, but yeah, they went through a lot. It seems like I always go do our grocery shopping whenever the kids are doing quiet time on the weekends. It's like, oh, they're all in their rooms doing their own thing, taking naps or whatever. I guess I've got to go to the grocery store. Then I get home, and then they're all out running around, going wild. It's like, oh, great. I can't sit down and relax. Hey, thanks. Hey, Bryce Stafford. Thanks for joining. Yeah, it's kind of a spur of the moment live stream. So it would have been nice to have known this so I can announce it. I don't like Padme's blaster. It just looks goofy. I'm being picky about stupid things. You just started reading Darth Maul Shadow Hunter and about halfway through with it. That's awesome. It's a good book. I remember reading that one not too long ago. Some really cool stuff in there. Yes, Matt, Chris, definitely do a commentary about my commentary. You could talk about how stupid my jokes are. Like there was a siren outside earlier, and I said Disney must be on their way. Dad jokes, I guess. Such a cool fight here. Do you okay? Do you think Kenobi could have taken out Maul if he was by himself? Nice fake out, Kenobi. That's actually right where I'm at. Quality autism. He just like kind of faked him out and like backed up. And there goes Anakin. The ship doing the autopilot. Look, there they are. That's where the autopilot's taking us. Do I have any Star Wars Lego sets? No, actually, I don't. Not a single one. Oh, stomp on the droid that's already dead. Oh yeah, let's kick it. Yeah, yeah, get stuck. Let's kill people. Oh, slam it. Kick it again. Yeah, boom. 2. Oh, 3. Great, Jar Jar. Stupid. Hey, Rob, do you have any Star Wars Lego sets? Yeah, just nice little classic fake out. The fake moves. How did Anakin's ship get through the shields and into the hangar? That's a very good question. We're about to find out. He spinned. Spinning is always a good trick. He confused the shield. Shoot the windows. Bam, that's a lot of explosion for shooting glass. Perfect cutout, too. He knew what he was shooting at. How's the Ewoks? Yeah, I actually haven't had a chance to come up here and listen to the soundtrack yet. It's sitting on top of my record player. I'm ready to do it. Boom, another explosion with glass. Wow. It would be nice if they brought in some starfighters for the new episode 9. Clone Wars era's fighters for the final battle. There'll probably be some little, like, in the background, we'll probably see some of this stuff. Because if they have to bring in everybody, I'm sure they're like, oh, look at these Naboo starfighters, which I think they used some of those in one of the comic books that takes place after Return of the Jedi. I think Leia actually pilots one in the. What is it? It might have been. It's either the Leia comic book or Shattered Empire. I can't remember. Kenobi does his really high jump. And we only see that again once, right? With Luke. He just kind of jumps real fast out of the carbon pit. And how come Kenobi isn't using his force speed right now? Did it at the beginning of the movie. Conserving his energy, maybe? And there's a shot that just happened, but when those shields close, it shows Qui-Gon's hilt, and the bottom of it looks really red. Is that just like heat? Or just like the reflection of that red shielding on that silver hilt? Oh man, bring back the Gungans at the end screaming Wisa free. That's when I walk out. U.S. Air Force F-16 fighters are going to show up in the final battle. The big boomer. I wonder what would happen if one of these people, like a biological form, got hit by one of the boomers. What would happen? Just get electrocuted? You know, these Gungans running away. Oop. See, this like droid tank just blasts a rider that Jar Jar was on. So that animal and the Gungan die while Jar Jar gets to live. There he goes, bringing the tank down, spinning around like a moron. It was pretty cool. There was like a droid standing on the tank, just blasting away. Freaking stupid. Sorry, is Jar Jar anybody's favorite character, like for real? Okay, we're back to the battle in space. Anakin's flying. They're hit. They're spinning. The shield is just down. The shields are down. So now they're just, pod racing through. I'm trying to stop. Skidding there on the ground. Sparks are flying. It's not good. I never liked that part either. He's like flipping the switch, and it's like 4 or 5 switches in a row. When he flicks one, they all move up and down. It just bothers me. They should all be still and one go up. And they're back at it. Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn. Come on, Kenobi. Use your force speed. It's like that scene in, again, I'm bringing up another movie, the same movie, Monty Python, Search for the Holy Grail. There's that scene where there's the guy, he's like running to the castle and the guards are looking at him. And the camera keeps cutting to the guy running back to the guards, and then like the guys in the background still in the same spot. It just happens so often. And then the final one is like, you see the guy out far away in the field, camera zooms up to the guards, and then the guy far away at the end of the field is there, just like stabs him and then runs in the castle. So funny. Another movie you should watch if you haven't seen it. Bryce, you're the 1% that never had a problem with Jar Jar. That being that he grew up with the prequels. But no, we have Rose to take his place. Accurate statement. But yeah, I understand that Jar Jar would have been he's definitely the target for the kids to make them laugh and stuff, but I just can't do it. Sign that treaty. I think it's cool too that they separated the droids out with colors, like by ranks. It's pretty neat. Obi is low on stamina. Yeah, that's true. It's going to take a lot of energy to fight a Sith when you haven't ever done so. Time to discuss a new treaty. And a blaster shot to the face. They didn't do that. But Obi-Wan Kenobi is pissed. I love that how he goes over his back. It's so cool. Oh, cuts his saber in half. Nice spin. That was a cool trick. Oop, kick to the face. Nice twirl of the lightsaber. I love it when he twirls the lightsaber. It's really cool looking. Oh, down the shaft. Catch the light beacon thing. All right, Kenobi. There goes the lightsaber. He had to have gone back down to get that saber, right? Because isn't that the same one that he has in the next movie? Do regular battle droids and security droids have different programming? I don't know. I really don't know. Like earlier, there's the one that was painted yellow. I think he was really hesitant. Said a lot. That doesn't compute. You're under arrest. Get out of here. Boom, the explosion coming through. Got to get out of there. What's that? That's pod racing, lady. We didn't hit it. Clearly, they're not doing their job. Those cockpits look really tight, too. They're really snug in there. Boom. Pretty cool explosion there. Wide shot of the whole thing just breaking apart. And the droids are down. There was a breakdown video on the IGN of a duel that even in the cast and the crew stated some interesting facts about filming it. Yeah, Maul's coming, come at me, bro. It'd been funny too if he was like, I've got the high ground. Confusion. Did he use the force on him to confuse him? Because he like just suddenly makes a face like, what? Did he like do a little mind trick to him? At least that's gonna be my headcanon. How about that? Can we do headcanon for movies? And there he goes, down the shaft, cut in half. So he clearly has to be on some sort of like testosterone like supplement, right? Because he's cut in half. And then we meet him again later on. He's got the deep voice. He's all raged out. Man parts that create the testosterone is not there anymore. Because it would have been weird to meet Maul again, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Maul. You're the one that cut my junk." So voice is cracking a little bit. I'm getting tired, guys. It's late. Yeah, professional pilots were just one upped by a 9-year-old. Very good point. Yeah, mad about it. Maul was just confused. Quality autism. The books it said Maul was just confused and couldn't see it coming. Yeah. That ship right here where they all come back onto Naboo, this big red one, for some reason reminds me of a Twinkie. It just does. They just took a Twinkie and then put something on it that looked like an engine, painted it red. There go the Nemoidians getting arrested. And out comes the Jedi and Senator Palpatine. Or Chancellor. A Snowball Twinkie hybrid. Yes, that's what it is. That's what the engines were. Just like, let's throw 3 snowballs on that Twinkie and call it a day. I think that's Ben Burt behind her, right there on the left side. And I think that's her father behind her too, which we only see in like an outtake in one of the other movies. We need a ship quick. Yeah, guy eating a Twinkie. Bill, bring me your Twinkie. Why? I'm eating it. Not anymore, you're not. The chosen one the boy may be. I wonder if Yoda really thinks he's the chosen one. See, Yoda just knew, like, we shouldn't be doing this. But he wants to listen to the. How old would he have been in this one? 850 or something like that. No one wants to listen to the old crazy guy. Super wise, knows everything. Here we are, Qui-Gon's funeral. I believe that was the track name, Qui-Gon's Noble End and Qui-Gon's funeral. The big spoiler on the soundtrack. You will be a Jedi, I promise. Poor Jake Lloyd grew up to be kind of messed up. There's all the fandom hatred that's out there, and same with the guy who played Jar Jar Binks. Like, people attack the actors for what they've done. It's not their fault. It's what they were told to do. Oh, the Sith, 2, no more than 2, no more, no less. Well, actually, you're wrong about that because there's only 1 now. Big party in the streets. Such a nice looking city. I wonder what that glowing ball is that Padme gives to Boss Nass. That's a good question. You know, there's a moment where it kind of looks a little. It shows one of the dudes holding it right now. It kind of looks. It's like they should have been holding something, but it kind of looks like they're not holding anything, and they just digitally put something in his hands. Having read Darth Plagueis a long while back, the second half coinciding with the events during this episode, kind of weird to think about Palpatine smiling after killing him and then praising the victory. Yeah. He's just a sick and twisted individual. Big old dinosaur in the middle of the street there. The palace, a real city in Italy. Huh. That would make sense, because, I mean, it looks legit. Written and directed by George Lucas. See, I like how the endings kind of reflect each other, too. Like, the ending here is kind of like this, the ceremony at the end of A New Hope, and then you had in Attack of the Clones, weren't they just, like, staring off into the sunset? And then you got Luke and Leia at the end of The Empire Strikes Back, just looking out at that galaxy, black hole, whatever that was. Well, it's the second day in a row that I've watched this film. Hopefully this one gets to stick on YouTube. Casting by Robin Gurland. It's fun. I like the movie. Sound design by Ben Burt. I don't think he doesn't do this stuff anymore. So somebody else does. Don't know what their name is either. Ian McGregor, going to be continuing the Kenobi series. Starting the Kenobi series. I thought the Expanded Universe had a good Kenobi book, but, you know, got to replace that now with something new. But yeah, that's it, guys. It's like poetry, it rhymes. George Lucas, that's right. I guess the only ones that don't really match up would be Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi. And they didn't do that with The Force Awakens either. They didn't try to make that same rhyming technique either. That one just ends like on an actual cliffhanger, you know. Literally, they're on a cliff. Here's my lightsaber. End, and the next movie just begins right where they leave off. But yeah, episode 9 comes out next week. Can't believe it. Well, the movie's over. I don't think I'm going to sit here through the whole credits. Guys, I had fun doing this. I know it was short notice, like I said several times already throughout the video. Thanks for joining me. Attack of the Clones. Looks like I need to do that one next. Don't know when I'm going to be able to. But maybe. It would be nice if I could do something right now. But it's 12 o'clock. I'm going to have to go to bed. But it'd be fun to do another, like a Christmas movie or something before Christmas hits. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to head out of here. If I don't see you, have a Merry Christmas, another Happy Holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate. Have a great night, a good day, wherever you are in the world. Bravo. Thank you. Submaster Bull Dragon. Well, guys, you can check me out. You know where to check me out. TheGeeksAttic.com and everywhere else. Have a good one, folks. Thank you.